Good morning, everyone. Brian here again with BMK Retro Gaming. It is rather early morning here. I've got some coffee going, as usual. Kind of a good idea when you do this early morning. And I like coffee. Probably wouldn't be doing very well without it. Anyway, this morning we have the review of the Atari VCS 2600 homebrew game, Duck Attack. Anyway, picture this. In the original adventure, the fun was you got to explore around, fight and kill some dragons, and basically collect some items, the chalices. And it was a lot of fun adventure exploring. And not to mention you had one of the earliest games which had screens which actually scrolled from one screen to another instead of being stuck on, say, maybe just one screen as in a platformer. Of course, everybody back then always saw the dragons as being duck-headed or duck-like. Me, I also figured, I called them duck-headed and seahorse-bodied because the way they move and the way their tails do kind of reminds you what you'd think of with a seahorse. So to me, they were duck-headed, seahorse-bodied dragons. Well, with Duck Attack, things get a little bit more literal. You are actually up against, instead of dragons, literal ducks. Giant, radioactive, fire-breathing ducks, who have been being bred through experiments by a scientist who is using their eggs, which are radioactive, nuclear fissionable material, I guess you could say. For some years, he's been using them to get those eggs to go towards creating a doomsday device. Now, you're playing as a robot who has been sent under the control of a professor who has been asked to, to put a stop to all this. Of course, the professor doesn't want to go in himself for all the high levels of radiation, so his robotic creation, his latest one, is going to go in his stead under his control, and you have to deal with the giant radioactive fire-breathing ducks while trying to collect the eggs, and basically that's what the game is all about. Here we have our cartridge here. It's a very nice looking homebrew cartridge. It says right there, don't know if you can see well, hang on. Focus, silly. I hate when this camera doesn't want to focus right for me. Oh well, maybe you guys can see a little bit on it. It just is not giving me good focus here. Okay, well, you guys may not be able to see as well as I would like for you to, but it says here it's copyright 2010 by developer Will Nichols, and produced or published by Atari Age. So anyway, it's a pretty nice cartridge, pretty nice form factor to it. Pretty standard, really. You have your basic, cartridge insert protector and all that. And then, of course, we have our manual, which it says here, I don't know why y'all can see that, 2010 Will Nichols, and it has 10 game variations from Atari Age. Let's see here, as we open her up, we've got our contents, and over here it tells us a story, and the basics of how to play. And it keeps us going through the how to play section for there. And then 4, it tells us about the ducks. 5, it tells us more about other dangers and obstacles, as you guys can kind of see here. There's a lot of stuff here, the tank from combat. We have a bee. I'm not sure where he's from. Might be from, oh, I can't even think of it. The snake, which I think may be from the Raiders of the Lost Ark. And we have a chomper, who certainly is a dead giveaway for Pac-Man. Or something similar enough to Pac-Man. Then, of course, it takes us a little over more of that, then and tells us more about the Zapper, which is a weapon you can use to temporarily stun the ducks. In earlier levels, usually for about 1 minute or so, and later on it gets to a point of being many more. And then it tells you about how to recharge the Zapper down here. Then it goes on to tell you more about the balloons, which are special items, and what all they do for you. And carrying objects, which in this game you can carry up to 2 at a time. And the magnet, it does have one, of course. The shield, which will appear in later levels. I've never gotten to it yet. The flashlight. The warp of death, which allows you kind of to skip a level ahead, but without the extra points, and it takes pretty much a life from you. Super speed and shield colors down here. Then next it goes over the game variations some. The difficulty settings, which if you want fast ducks, fireballs, and other creatures move, stuff like that, basically the left difficulty switch controls your speed of fireballs, tanks, poison arrows, and similar objects. Set A for faster moving objects and B for normal speed. The right difficulty switch controls the speed of ducks. Set A for fast moving ducks, B for normal speed ducks. I'm not going for fast moving anything to start with. This game is hard enough. And of course pausing the game, which is simple enough to do if you're playing on, say, the Atari 7800 like I have, and there are other easy ways to do it if you are playing on an Atari VCS 2600. And game rooms, safe rooms it tells you about. There are a couple of them. Then it tells you about scoring, continuing a game, ending a game. Oh, and about Atari Box features. If you have the Atari Box, you can both save your game and your highest scores. So that's kind of two cool things that come with it if you have an Atari Box. And also allows you to save and load a game in progress with it. And 23, we have troubleshooting. Then some tips and tricks. And finally our credits. Which, of course, it was developed in... It says here, game design, coding, and manual text by Will Nichols, which he's the basic developer. And the label and manual cover art and the manual layout are by Nathan Strum, who probably works for Atari Age or with them. And of course published by, Atari Age with Mr. Albert Uros and the wonderful people there. The author also recommends these excellent Atari 2600 homebrews, also available from Atari Age. Ladybug by John W. Champu, Juno First by Chris Walton, Medieval Mayhem by Derek Spice Jr., Thrust Plus Platinum by Thomas Jenst, I don't know if I said that right, and Fall Down by Aaron Curtis, and gives a link to the Atari Age store, and of course we have our back. Let's see, altogether that's a 17, if you count the front and back, 18, about 20 pages worth of manual there. Anyway, I've talked a good deal about that. I'm going to go ahead and get us set up with our Atari 7800, and we're going to take a look into some gameplay. Okay, so here we go. Atari 7800 set up and ready to move. Okay, select level 1, random off. Yeah, you can randomize things, but I'd rather not. This game is tough enough. So, here we go. Here is a door, this is one of the safe rooms. Shows you to where, here, you know, kind of your credits and all in a way. And here it will show you what eggs have been collected. I've got 2 for this level and haven't gotten them yet. Okay. You can see our guy here. He's got the big oversized sprite antenna and white boots. The chest is where it shows most things. Like blue, he's in a pretty normal state now. That's your B. Don't want to run into him. And there's your tank from combat. That green balloon was for a 1-up. So 1 extra life. Okay, here we go. Ooh, no. You press the direction you want to throw your... I'm not going to let it kill me that easy, dang it. Let's reset and... Okay, there we go. And try again. 1-up balloon. This is your, again, your zapper. To use it on a duck or something else, you press the direction you want to throw in and toss it. And he's already fire breathing on me. Darn it, that's not a great start to this, but we'll try again. 1-up. That, by the way, is a river. Do not get into it or you're going to be swept away. Duck's got me there. You can only be damaged really by taking the damage in your midsection there. You're not, there's our first egg. You will not be damaged if you're touched by your boots or your antenna. He should stay stunned for just long enough. This little yellow thing right here will recharge your zapper. Touch it to it, but don't touch it yourself. This right here is a tricky part. I hate that. Of course, you don't necessarily lose your items just because you lose a life. You'll still be carrying them regardless. I hate that room right there because it really is a tough one to get through without getting yourself killed easily. Again, your boots and antenna are not normal to attack really, so you don't have to worry about them with that, but I got 500 points going, but that's not going to help me out for very long if I don't get this done right. Okay, we'll start over again. I know I can get through this for you guys. It's just, that one right there is kind of tough. Duck. There you go, stun for me. And stay that way. You can see the ducks are pretty aggressive. That one that we encountered is one of the slower moving ducks, so not a huge pain in the neck, but can be. Whoa, that was close. Hey. Problem with that room right there is you don't really get a good... I think I get it this time. I'm starting to remember how to do it right, but... Right? Do it right. That's not going to help me out much. Okay. Well, at least old Ducky didn't give me for more than a shot that time. Nope. By the way, getting the duck with the lightning bolt straight up is worth 800 points, or supposed to be something like that. But if you end up leaving it where the duck just runs into it, it's only worth 200. Get her in a sec. I keep forgetting there's a certain way you have to do it to not get nailed. And it is one of the trickier parts. In fact, it's one of the parts of this game I despise most. Okay. Come on. Wasn't having that much trouble with it before. You're stupid. At least I can get that part right. See, Duck's all confused there and pretty well stunned, so she's not going to be a problem for us again for a bit. Okay, we're not doing that. I am not playing around like that with it. Stupid that this video is taking this long for me to finish for you. There we go. Watch out for the bee because one sting and you're done. Come on. I was barely in there, damn it. Would ignore you. Okay, we're going to do this, and I'm not going to take no for an answer. I know that I got through this before. It's not that hard. Come on, you stupid game. Alright, this video is not over till we get this right. I mean, I know that I've done this more than once before. It's not that friggin' complicated. Where's my... Never mind. There we go. That's how you do that right there. I had almost forgotten. And that's how you don't want to do that. Oh, that right there, that's an extra 100 points. Get away from him. Nope. Dadgum. Come on, you stupid thing. This is not that complicated of a game. Here we go. Get away. The blue door, and there we go. Level 1 complete at long last. That's pretty much about as much gameplay as I've got. I've never quite gotten past level 2 yet. I've gotten into it. Well, we'll take a look and see what we can do with it. Probably not going to last very long, though. Another one up. Oh. That stunk. Here we go again. And, of course, this time you don't need to worry about him much. There's no egg to get on that one, so we're off to recharge our buddy here. Oh, one thing I want to show you guys that's kind of cool is you go down here, and there's your magnet. Of course, that door doesn't take you much anywhere. This is a room that crushes you, and has the dadgum snake in it. There's our game over again, and I think you guys have a good enough idea with the gameplay. Okay, so that was Duck Attack for the Atari VCS 2600 Homebrew. It's pretty good. As you can see, that one room kept tripping me up. It's very difficult on that. You have to get the hang of it. I thought I had, but apparently I hadn't got down as well as I thought. Anyway, ducks are very nice. The sprites are really large. Ducks are very nice and aggressive. They get worse. Basically, you have about 12 levels put together, and then you would complete the game, get all the eggs. So forgive my kind of lousy gameplay, but at least you guys got to see how it plays and an idea of it, you know. It's a pretty fun game. If you like, kind of like the exploring aspect and all that of the original adventure, this would be one that'd be right up your alley. As a matter of fact, it's still available in the Atari Age store these days for about a $30 base price before taxes, shipping, and handling. So I'd say if you find this type of gameplay interesting, take a look into it, get a copy. It's good. Sure, it's frustrating too, and it's a big game with a lot to explore, very confusing, very frustrating, but it's worth it if you are into that type of thing. Like I said, if you enjoyed the original library adventure, this is going to be very good. And no, it's not really built on the original library adventure. It's just built using a lot of the same gameplay elements and mechanics. It's not a direct hack. Anyway, I do have a couple of recommendations for you guys too. That'd be Pets as Jim. I think Pets as Jim 1 is how it looks. I'm not sure how you... Maybe you'll go in there and tell me if I'm pronouncing it wrong or not. But Pets as Jim 1, he has a nice video on this. I believe it's from back when the game was still in development, so it looks a little different, but it's a good video. Not too long, 4-something minutes. Then, of course, the Atari Age themselves has a nice video on this one, too. I'll leave links for those two in that order for you guys down below, along with a link to where you can find this in the Atari Age store. If you enjoy my channel's content, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and don't hesitate to leave any questions, comments, or suggestions down in the comments section below. I will have an Intellivision original library review, game review video coming up on Wednesday, so you guys keep your eyes open for that one. I have no idea what it's going to be, but I'm not quite sure yet. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful Sunday, and I'll see you again on Wednesday.